Hello and welcome. I'm Cheryl and this is Your Journey Yoga. Thanks for joining me today. We are going to do some chair stretches. So I have had actually a surprisingly number of requests for some stretches that you can do when you can't necessarily get up and get down and do a traditional yoga or stretching practice. So we are going to, if you're limited in standing, if your balance is compromised, if you're recovering from any kind of foot, hip, any kind of surgery or procedure that you've had done where maybe you're limited in range of motion and limited in being able to stand or get up or down off of the floor. So great way you can do on the couch. If you can get yourself into a chair, you just want to make sure that that chair is very, very stable because we will be moving kind of to the front of the chair as well as sitting back in the chair. So if it is overly, if it's not super steady or super sturdy to be able to be on the front of your chair, maybe pick a different one or be on a couch, whatever it is. So a seated position that works for you. Wherever you're limited, guys, listen to, so if you're doing PT, you're with a doctor, that kind of thing, listen to their protocol, please. And if it's something that you're not supposed to do quite yet, hold tight and we'll get there eventually. So just really being aware and mindful of your body. All right, guys. So again, same principles. If something doesn't feel good, if it's too intense, we're going to modify, or we're just going to relax and take a break for a second until we're ready to move on to the next stretch. All right, so just sitting up nice and tall, kind of midway on your chair so that your thighs are kind of at the midpoint, if you will. You're not resting all the way back onto the chair, but you're backing away from the back of the chair. And we're going to let those arms hang just nice and heavy. Take a big breath in, close your eyes, and a big breath out. Big breath in. And out. As you exhale, gently draw the chin down towards the chest. Stand up or sit up nice and tall. So keeping that spine long. And then gently roll the head to the right. Right ear over the right shoulder. And just let that head hang heavily. Notice that stretch down the side of your neck and into the shoulder. If you want to intensify it more, reach your fingertips towards the floor. Find your breath. If you want to intensify it further, begin to turn your chin towards your collarbone. And just breathe. Now you can let go of some of that intensity by not reaching towards the floor. Maybe you don't turn your head quite so far. Maybe don't lean your head quite so far. So just take care of yourself. So if you have been still kind of immobilized for a little while, if it's after surgery and you're not supposed to do a whole lot, you might find that you're really stiff, and it's okay. We'll get you there. Gently release the chin back towards the chest, give the shoulders a nice big roll up and back, and just let those shoulders slide down and away. And then we gently roll the head to the left ear over the left shoulder, and just let that head be heavy. Close your eyes, feel the length in your spine. So we're still engaged through those core muscles to help sit up nice and tall. We don't want to let those shoulders roll forward and let the belly relax. So really staying engaged. Now reach those fingertips towards the ground. Oh, feel that extension through the arms, the deeper stretch. And if you like, begin to turn your chin towards your collarbone. Now you can go just a little, or you can go a lot. You can always adapt and change. You can always back off. You can always intensify. But you've gotta listen to your breath, listen to your body. And then gently release the chin back towards the chest. Relax the arms. Give those shoulders a nice big roll up and back. Shoulders slide down and away. And we're gonna inhale and lift our gaze. We're going to reach around behind and take the hold of the back of the chair. Core is strong. We're going to lift the chest and we're going to open and lift our gaze to the sky. Slow, deep breaths. And then gently releasing that arch. Now we're going to rest our hands to our thighs. Take a big breath in And as you exhale, hollow the tummy and chest, tuck your chin. So a little bit of a pelvic tilt as you press your spine towards the back of the chair. And then as you inhale, lift the chest, arch your back, gaze to the sky. Exhale and hollow. So there's just mobility through the spine here as we do our seated cat and cows. Inhale as you arch the back, gaze to the sky. This is cow. And then exhale, hollow. Visualize yourself as an angry cat lifting your spine towards the sky. Only we're reaching it towards the back of the chair. One more time, each way. Inhale, arch. Exhale and hollow. Draw that belly button back towards your spine. And inhale it up nice and tall. Now we're going to lift that left knee and we're going to hold on to it. Now if you can't quite hold on to it, if you have a strap or a towel, wrap that around your knee and then use that to help lift. If you can hold on to that knee, we're going to begin to lift that knee towards the chest as you lift through the crown of the head. So as much as you can lift, so if we're coming off of a knee surgery, we want to be really mindful, right? If we're not quite to the point of having that flexion in the knee, we're not going to go there. We're going to back off a little bit to where it's right for us. And if that means just sitting up tall and maybe pulling your feet in a little bit, perfect. Press your heels towards the mat. So we're here, we're lifting the spine nice and tall, keeping that belly button drawn in, and release that side. And let's lift the right. So again, maybe it's one leg and not both. So do what's right for each leg, okay? It does not mean that you're going to run around in circles or walk around in circles all day if you don't get an even stretch on each side. I want you to focus on the length in your spine and the intensity of the stretch. We never want to go beyond an 8, okay? So as long as you can breathe slow and steady, that's exactly where we want to be. And then gently release. Now we're going to join those folks who not necessarily been able to bring those knees up. We're going to pull our feet back. And then we're going to press those heels towards the mat. So not as far back as you can go, because I want you to be able to feel those heels really work to the mat. This is a great stretch for your calves. So in a traditional coming into our down dog, right, we get that great stretch as we press those heels to the mat. We're not getting our hamstrings quite as much here, but it's okay because we're getting those calves. Beautiful. And release. We're going to extend one leg out. Now again, depending upon where you are, if it's right for you, slide forward to the top of your chair. So we really want to make sure that this is a stable chair so that as you bring your weight forward, it's not going to tip forward. Okay, so making sure that we have the appropriate chair. Breathe. Now flex your foot. Pull those toes back. I'm just going to turn sideways in my chair so you can see a little bit better. And we're going to flex the feet. Breathe. And point. Still sitting up nice and tall, and flex, and point, and flex, and soften. Pull your knee in, and we do the other side. Extending the leg out, flex your foot, breathe, and point. As much as you can point that foot and flex, still sitting up as tall as you can sit. We have this tendency to kind of round our back. I want you to sit up as tall as you can and point and flex. One more time and point and flex and relax. Coming back to facing front. So we're going to open up those knees. We're going to slide back on the chair just a little bit. We're going to rest our hands on our thighs, kind of fingertips pointing inward, and we're just going to gently hinge forward, supporting ourselves as we come down. Let yourself come down as far as feels right to you. So this is a really nice release for that lower back, but we want to be mindful, right? If we're not supposed to be turning upside down, guys, we're going to stay a little bit higher and we're going to lengthen through the crown of the head. Feels good to you to fold forward? Let's make it happen. Now, depending upon where you are in your journey, if it's right for you, go ahead and release those arms and let your upper body be heavy. If you need that support, guys, keep it. Breathe. Now again, depending upon where you are in your journey, if you like, bring your hands around behind your back, interlace your fingers.
We can let those hands stay resting and just let that upper body be heavy. Or if you like, roll those shoulders up and back, lift your hands towards the sky. Now be mindful of that chair position, right? We don't want to have it slide away from us when we're not ready. Let your head be heavy. Let those arms be heavy. And slowly bring the hands to the small of the back. Gently releasing those hands to the thighs, and we're going to slowly roll it up, supporting ourselves as we come up. Slow and steady, each vertebra one at a time, till we sit up nice and tall. Big shoulder roll up and back, shoulders slide down and away. Let's bring those feet together. And we're going to take that right hand around behind, and we're going to take a hold of the back of the chair. Now we're going to take our left hand either to our thigh or to the side of the chair, and we're going to sit up as tall as we can sit. Now feel that. Oh, that feels actually pretty good. And then slowly take your gaze out over that right shoulder as you press your left shoulder down and away. So if we've taken a hold of that chair, really take a hold of that grip, keeping the length in the spine, and get as much rotation as you can. Breathe. Now, if we've got the hand against the thigh, you can press against the thigh. You might try them both if you can get a hold of the chair or the thigh. They feel a little different. What intensity is best for you? Now, slowly release that rotation, release that twist, come back to face fronter. And then we're going to taste that was center and front all rolled into one. We're going to take that left hand behind, taking a hold of that chair. Sit up as tall as you can sit. Now again, that right hand either to the thigh, or we reach down. Can you find your chair? Lift and lengthen through the crown of the head. And then slowly use the strength of those arms, the length in your spine, and rotate, taking your gaze out over that back shoulder. Find your breath. Slow, steady breaths. Now again, we're going to give a different option. So if you like, switch to that thigh and just see how that feels differently. But we're using the strength in those arms, the strength in those core muscles to rotate. And then ever so slowly releasing that rotation, coming back to face front. Nicely done. Now we're going to take that left leg and we're going to cross it up and over the right, sitting up nice and tall. So there's a ton of stuff that we can do in chairs to be able to stretch and to move. So you guys, this is amazing. I could go on for days. I won't, but it's amazing. So don't feel like you're limited because you don't have the ability to get up and down off the floor. That traditional yoga is not for you. This is traditional yoga, you guys. It's just in a chair. So as we sit up nice and tall, you might notice that your knee is a little higher, particularly if you're dealing with anything that has to do with the hips, the lower back, the glutes, the knee. So listen to your body. Sit up nice and tall. So your option might be to have the leg extended and have that foot lower to get the knee open. That's perfect. Once we work our way to above the knee, that's when we can start working on pulling that foot back in. So find what's right for you. And we can either sit up nice and tall with a gentle press with that left hand to open up through the hip. I want you to focus on your posture. We're always working on good posture. Keep that length in the spine and slowly begin to hinge forward if that feels okay. So again, we're mindful. We're taking care of ourselves. We're not doing anything we're not supposed to be doing or we're not ready for. Take care of yourself. That's why we're here, right? So you can continue forward as far as feels good to you. Breathe. Remember always, guys, good is a relative term in yoga. So your indicators for if it's good, if your breath is still slow and steady, there's no indication of pain. It's just a really nice stretch. Now lengthen through the crown of the head. Let's slowly come back up. Awesome. And guess what? We get to do the other side. So we're going to place that left foot to the mat. So depending upon what you've got going on, if you need to extend the leg out and just cross, letting that knee open, a much more gentle bend in the knee. As we get better, as we get more flexible,
as the body is ready, start to pull that up towards the top of the knee. Once we get to the top of the knee, if it's right for you, start to pull that left foot in. Again, we sit up nice and tall. So as we sit up nice and tall, I want you to notice the spine. I want you to notice your belly. Okay, so those core muscles are engaged, and they're always engaged when you are standing upright. But we can really engage them by really lifting through the crown of the head. Now notice, is there any initial tightness? I just noticed that my body was like, oh, okay, I can relax. So if you're holding tension and tightness in that hip, see if you can get it to relax. If you're holding it in the knee, see if you can get it to relax. If that means closing your eyes, close your eyes. Breathe, a gentle press. So again, this is all progress, right? It's just moving through our journey to find what's right for us right here today. Breathe. Now, keeping that length in the spine, you can stay nice and tall or begin to hinge yourself forward. Now, I'm keeping that right hand on my knee, giving it a gentle press away as I hinge forward. So that's going to deepen that stretch in my hip. If I release that, the knee pops up a little bit. I want to keep it down to the point that feels good to me, and this feels good to me. And just gently release it over. Big, slow, deep breaths. Now, as you come over, noticing if you've rounded through the upper back a little bit. If so, that's okay. If you're able, lengthen through the crown of the head. Flatten out that back a little bit. Now, no pain, guys. We don't want any pain. Core is strong. Now I'm laughing at myself because I can feel. My husband and I went for a nice hike yesterday, and I can feel my quads a little tight. And as I have that right foot over my knee, I can feel it just giving me a little massage. It's kind of cool. Now lengthen through the crown of the head and slowly rise. Sitting up nice and tall. We're going to pull that left knee in. Pull it in nice and tight. Breathe. Slow, steady breaths. And gently releasing it down. Nice job. Now we're going to slide back in that chair. And we're not going to have our back against the back just yet. So I'm going to extend the left arm to the sky and arch it back, reaching back just a little bit, lifting through the chest. Core is strong. Inhaling it up nice and tall. Release your hands. Other side, lift it high, arch it back, lift through the chest as you reach back. Strong through the core. So I'm not leaning back, I'm arching back. Opening the chest, activating through that upper and middle back. And gently releasing it down. Bringing the hands to heart center. Now, if it feels right to you, you can stay here and lift the chest, arching back, or if it feels okay to you, extend the arms, interlace your fingers, all but the index finger and thumb, and arch it back a little bit more, letting those arms be heavy. Breathe. And inhale it up nice and tall. Pull the hands to heart center. Now we're going to bring our big toes to touch, creating a little space between our heels. Core is strong. We're going to lean forward just a bit. Now if that's too much in the lower back, it's okay. Stay tall, and you're just going to rotate through the spine. If it feels right to you, as we hinge forward, we place that left elbow to the right knee, pressing against the knee and working to bring those hands towards heart center. Now I want you to be mindful of your weight distribution and see if you can get both feet, even weight distributed in both feet. Breathe, gazing up over your elbow. Find that breath. Open your arms if you like. Back of that right arm pressing against the knee. Now if we're up, we just open and press. Coming back to center, we face forward once again. Sit up nice and tall. So again, if you are staying tall, we're just going to rotate. If you are coming forward, we're going to hinge forward a bit. Core is strong. Placing that right elbow to the left knee and press against the knee, working to bring your hands towards heart center. Now you can stay upright, not leaning forward. Breathe. Really nice spinal twist. I want you to notice how your weight is distributed in your feet. Now let's open those arms if it feels okay to you, pressing against the outside of that knee. Now if we're upright, same thing. Breathe. Just reach, open through the chest, extend through those arms, twisting out any kind of negative energy. And we pull those hands back to heart center, facing forward once again, and we rise. Extend the arms to the sky, and as you exhale, open those arms to a nice wide V, gaze to the sky. Breathe. Inhale, reach to the sky, pull the hands back to heart center. Release your hands. All right, my friends. So this one, we're going to kind of straddle our chair. So we're going to bring that right foot forward and the left foot back. So adjust yourself on your chair so that that right or the left leg has the freedom to extend back. And I want you to just bend the knee and straighten the leg. Bend the knee and straighten the leg. Your hand can be wherever you want it to be. I'm just trying to keep mine out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Bending the knee and extending the leg. So pressing through that back heel. You should feel this really nice stretch through the hip. Now, if you're not able to do this, guys, because you're in some kind of a brace for your foot or for your knee or whatever it is, if you are able to just come to the side and maneuver to a crescent lunge in some way, shape, or form. So maybe if you are in a perpetual bend, you just don't extend. Maybe you're in a perpetual extension and you can't bend. Make the adjustment you need to. Now extend through that back heel. Extend that left arm, reach it up. Right hand is resting on your thigh, and we arch it back. Breathe. Find your breath. And inhale it back up. Now we're going to rotate and we're going to face the back of the chair and we're going to hold on to that chair as you use the strength of your upper body to rotate, keeping that length in the spine. Now again, we don't want to go past an 8, guys. So don't torque your body to the point where it's like, oh, that doesn't even feel good. Okay, so maybe you take the top edge of your chair. Maybe you can take the whole back of the chair. And gently releasing one hand at a time to face front. And let's face front and switch sides. So now we take it to the other side, shifting in the chair as you need to. Okay, so we want the freedom of this front leg so that we can bend and extend. So if you need to slide that foot back a little bit, make it happen. We're lifting through the chest. We're staying strong through the belly. Supporting, not supporting, being wherever you need to be with those hands. Moving at the pace of your breath. So as you inhale, bending the knee. As you exhale, extend that leg. Now, if this is too much in that lower back, guys, maybe you lean into that front knee a little bit more. Okay, this is about learning about your body and the things that you need to do to take care of it, to progress safely. Okay, one more, and we're going to extend that leg. So again, if you can't extend the leg, it's okay. Come to wherever you need to be. Extend that right arm out, lift it high, arch it back. Breathe, slow, steady breaths. And inhale it back up, releasing that right hand. Now we turn to face the back of the chair, taking a hold of that chair anywhere you need to get that length in the spine and that rotation through the upper body. Breathe. So as we move and change our body position, you can see how important it is to have a good steady chair. I just have a folding chair, but it's a good sturdy one, so it's all good. I just want you to feel safe, to be safe, and to be able to move through these poses without too much frustration or worry. Gently releasing that rotation, and we turn back to face front. Now let's open up those feet as wide as feels good to you. Ankles kind of right under those knees. We're going to press those knees back. Breathe. So the hands just to the insides of the knees, press them back. Still sitting up nice and tall. We will always promote good posture, guys. Breathe. Now we're going to work to keep those knees back. It's going to be a little bit of challenge. So you might feel a little bit of warmth and heat starting to build in those hips. You might feel a really good stretch to the inner thighs. That's exactly what we want. Reach to the sky and exhale. Spread your fingers. Pull those elbows back and down. Opening your chest. Inhale, reach to the sky, gaze to the sky. Are those knees still rolled back? Exhale, pull it down. Squeeze those elbows. Inhale, reach. And exhale, pull. We're almost done, guys. Inhale, reach. And exhale, pull. Inhale, reach. Now place your hands to the insides of your knees. Now you can widen your stance a little bit if you need to. Lengthen through the crown of the head, and as you exhale, we're going to press that right knee out and away as you turn to the left. Take your gaze up over that left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, press that left knee out and away as you take your gaze out over that right shoulder. Inhale back to center. We're going to do that one more time each side. Exhale, press it away. So one of the beautiful things, you guys, is you can do a little bit. You don't have to do the whole video. You can pick and choose. You can do what feels right. You can move on. And then each day you come back, we progress just a little bit more. Coming back to center. Breathe. Beautiful. Bringing those feet back into center. We're going to cross the leg. Now, if that does not work for you, just doesn't feel great, it's okay, guys. So cross your ankles, okay? Pull those feet in a little bit if you need to. So just some kind of a crossing of that left leg over the right and sit up nice and tall. Now, for some people, this is going to be easy. For others, it's going to be a super struggle and it's not going to happen. So again, we are always mindful of what's going on for the body. So if this right here is a 6, 7, or an 8, stay right here. If you're like, yeah, I'm kind of hanging at a 4, can you wrap your foot around the back of the calf? Now you can maneuver however you need to. If it just doesn't want to wrap, guys, pull that foot in as tightly as you can. So we're really trying to narrow the knees and narrow the hips. So you should feel some love going on here. You should feel some activation through the inner thighs. We're going to introduce our eagle arms. So sitting up nice and tall, extend your arms out to a T. We're going to cross that left arm underneath the right, bringing the palms to touch. Lifting those fingertips towards the sky. Now, if you've been able to get that foot behind your calf, fantastic. Hold it there. And then ever so slowly pull your hands out and away from your face. And maybe a little hinge forward, drawing your elbows towards your knees. Do not have to. So you can absolutely stay tall. Breathe. Inhaling it back up. And pulling those hands back in. Release your hands, release the legs, and now we take the other side. So that right leg crosses up and over, and you're going to notice, absolutely, that you have one side that you prefer that crossing where you don't have the limitations as much. If you're even on both sides, that's pretty amazing. Okay, so that's not very typical. If you like wrapping that foot around the back of the calf, if it just doesn't want to wrap, it's cool. No worries, guys. So we're going to stay here and we're going to make those knees and the hips as narrow as we can. Can you feel those inner thighs? Absolutely, yes. Extend those arms out, crossing that right arm underneath the left, bringing the palms to touch. Make that spine nice and tall. Sit up as tall as you can sit and begin to lift your fingertips towards the sky. And then gently pull those hands out and away from your face. Breathe. And begin to hinge forward only if that's right for you. Otherwise, stay nice and tall. Always want to make sure we're in a safe place on the chair, so we're not going to tip that chair forward. Breathe. Feel that openness through that upper back. Space between those shoulder blades. Slowly we rise. Pulling those hands back towards the face, releasing those elbows down. Release your hands and release those legs. Breathe. Sit up nice and tall. Take a big breath in, rest your hands on your knees. As you exhale, arch your back, gaze to the sky. And hollow. Inhale, lift your spine, arch your back, gaze to the sky. And exhale, hollow. One more time, inhale, lift the chest, gaze to the sky. Exhale and hollow. Inhale, sit up nice and tall, reach to the sky. As you exhale, release that right hand down, find the chair, lift and lengthen and reach. That lateral side bend, we've got that hand on the chair to keep us steady. And inhale it back up, both arms reach to the sky. Exhale, release that left hand down, find the chair, lift and reach. Oh, that lateral flexion feels so good. Inhale, reach to the sky, both arms come up. Let's do that one more time. Right hand comes down, left arm up and over. Find that chair so that we can lean into it. Inhale, both arms come up. Exhale, other side. Find the chair, lift and reach. Inhale, both arms come up. Reach to the sky. Pull your hands to heart center. Breathe. Beautiful job, my friends. I hope that this has been helpful for you. I hope you feel like you've really done something good for your body today. It's not a permanent sentence, you guys. It's progress, right? So doing what you can as often as you can. Stay true to your protocol from whatever your PT or your docs are telling you. Listen to your body, always, always, always. Listen to your breath. Best indicator of where you are. Just keep stretching, keep moving, keep breathing, keep doing what you do. Until the next time, my friends, namaste.